that's been built here by Mr. Holloway. I really think we're getting ready to share in kind of a sacred moment here. Anytime you're together and you're experiencing just something together like this, it becomes a sacred moment. So I'm excited about that and excited about this moment that we get to share because it's a gift from God. It's a gift from Mr. Holloway, who's developed this entire program from almost scratch. And it's a gift from these students who are going to perform for us tonight. So we're really excited about that. So if we could just take, I would like to take a moment to thank Mr. Holloway in general for everything he does. I wish you parents could see him here in the morning. He walks around with a cup of coffee, he gets here early, and he works the crowd. He is going after these kids, finding out who they are, finding out what they're interested in, whether they're interested in choir or not. He just likes people and he enjoys being with them. And then the group that he took to New York here, was it New York? Or Washington, where was it? New York. He's told me about so many trips, especially one to Italy. But anyway, the work that he does to develop these students is amazing, and I am so thankful for that because that is exactly what we're looking for here at Not So Catholic, is that one-on-one personal thing. I sat here and watched him work these kids right before he came in. He doesn't do it because he has to, he does it because he loves it. So for Mr. Holloway, I cannot say enough. Also, he works in that fine arts department with Miss Jessica Majors-Rankin, who always sets up these events for us and gets everything going for us. So I'd like to thank her and her leadership and the camaraderie that that department has developed there as well. I'd also like to thank the Irish Streaming Network here, Irish Media. They are incredible. They cover so many of our events for us, and they're making it possible for us to see, for many people to see this that aren't here tonight. So we thank all of them as well. And last but not least, of course, we thank the musicians for all of their talent for being here tonight. So if we could take just a quick moment, we'll start with prayer, and then we will get started. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, amen. Heavenly Father, we thank you for all the many gifts you have given us, especially the gift of music. We know that music is what feelings sound like. Let this group perform to the best of their ability. Calm any nerves that they might have, magnify their voices so that they may be reflectant of you and all the gifts that you have given them. In Christ's name we pray. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. All right, Mr. Holloway.
Good evening. Welcome. This is an amazing crowd. And this typically is a lower attended concert, so my mind is blown. People are still coming in. This is awesome. Thank you all so much for being here tonight. I just want to echo what Ms. Walker said. I'm so thankful to be here. It's an amazing place. It really is special. As Mr. Romans always says, it's special to work in a place where you start the day with prayer and end the day with prayer. And there's something to be said about that. And just to echo as well, we have amazing leadership, Mr. Somperak, Ms. Walker, Mr. Pumariega, and the rest of the crew. They're just so wonderful to work for and work with, as well as my two esteemed colleagues. I'm gonna say it twice because they deserve even more than that, but that would be Jessica Majors-Rankin and Guy Shelton with IMN. If we could just give it up for all of those folks, please. Give it up for Mr. Romans as well. Why not? Mr. Romans is awesome. What a legend. My man. So, usually we kind of, I'll kind of talk, throughout the thing. Tonight's going to be a little bit longer of a program because we have two groups that are performing. We have some solos. It's the last choir concert of the year. So we get to showcase some amazing talent tonight. And I wanted to kind of, before we get into the program, I wanted to kind of talk about some really cool highlights really quickly. And then I would ask you all to stay at the end. We're going to honor our seniors, kind of our senior night. You see it on the football field a lot, when they will go through and honor our seniors. So all of our seniors will be honored tonight with a ceremony that we started last year. And it's a really special moment just to kind of give them some recognition and some love on their way out. But this weekend, I had the opportunity to go to Nashville, Tennessee. We have an organization called TMEA, Tennessee Music Educators Association. So in the fall, I actually had all East qualifiers, and that would be Jenna Burbar was an all East, Eliza Noel, as well as Madison Mounts. So if we could give them a round of applause for the fall all East. And from that audition, one was chosen to represent Knoxville Catholic at the all-state level, which is a high honor. And I just wanted to honor Madison Mounts, who was there this weekend, and she represented well, and it was just an amazing time. So we're going to go ahead and get started with the program. I am blessed this semester to have two choirs. The first choir that you will hear tonight, they are called the Concert Choir. It is a choir consisting of intermediate level singers. They have been involved in either a choir class that I taught, or they're involved in our wonderful musical theater program here, or they've been singing private voice, and they get to do this choir this semester. So I give you all Concert Choir.
Celebrate, come to the music. Celebrate, celebrate, come to the dance. Celebrate, celebrate, sing hallelujah. Celebrate, celebrate, clap your hands. Sing, celebrate, come to the music. Celebrate, celebrate, come to the dance. Celebrate, 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 clap your hands. Come to the music and let hallelujah surround. Hallelujah, hallelujah, sing. Sing Hosanna, come hear the jubilant sound of creation. Come hear the music which brings as a hope to the nations. Celebrate, 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 sing. Celebrate, 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 clap your hands. Music is the voice of worship. Music lifts our hearts above. Music is our common language. Music is the song of love. Celebrate, celebrate. Celebrate, 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 sing. Sweet music, you are inspiration. Sounds of beauty, gentle as a breeze.
All voices and instruments play lovingly, richest chords and simple melodies.
All right. Nothing says spring like John Rutter, and I promised Jessica Majors-Rankin that every spring concert I have to do a Rutter tune. So while we're transitioning, we're actually getting ready to hear some soloists tonight. I just want to talk about this year. It's been an amazing year, from the Singers Retreat to now. I've seen tremendous growth in this group, and it's just so awesome just to watch these groups just grow musically speaking. And as it was mentioned before, we got to take this amazing trip to New York City, and it was just special. That's the only way that I could describe it. And the kids that got to go on that trip, it was just an amazing time. And now we get to reap the benefits of all of that touring and all of that travel and all of that experience. So tonight we have a few solos. I'm gonna grab my little cheat sheet so I don't get the titles wrong. So I inevitably get a title wrong. So hang on one second. So tonight we actually have three soloists, and we will hear our first solo from the great MJ Parkhill, who will be attending Maryville College in the fall, and she will be singing "How Does a Moment Last Forever" from Beauty and the Beast. Give it up for MJ.
How does a moment last forever? How can a story never die? It is love we must hold on to. Never easy, but we try. Sometimes our happiness is captured. Somehow a time and place stand still. Love lives on inside our hearts and always will. Minutes turn to hours, days to years, then gone. But when all else has been forgotten, still our song lives on. Maybe some moments weren't so perfect. Maybe some memories not so sweet. But we have to know some bad times, or our lives are incomplete. Then when the shadows overtake us, just when we feel all hope is gone, we'll hear our song and know once more our love lives on. How does a moment last forever? How does our happiness endure? Through the darkest of our troubles, love is beauty, love is pure. Love pays the mind to desolation. It flows like a river through the soul, protects, precedes, and perseveres, and makes us whole. Minutes turn to hours, days to years, then
does a moment last forever when our song lives on?
Our next soloist will be Madison Mounts performing Once Upon a December.
Dancing bears, painted wings, things I almost remember, and a song someone sings once upon a December. Someone holds me safe and warm. Horses prance through a silver storm. Figures dancing gracefully across my memory. Someone holds me safe and warm. Horses prance through a silver storm. Figures dancing gracefully across my memory. Far away, long ago, glowing dim as an ember, things my heart used to know, things it yearns to remember. And a song someone sings once upon a
So, for our last solo this evening, I would like to introduce you to Georgia Jenkins singing a Nat King Cole tune, Orange Color Sky.
I was walking along, minding my business, when out of an orange-colored sky, flash, bam, alakazam, wonderful you came by. I was humming a tune, drinking in sunshine, when out of an orange-colored view, flash, bam, alakazam, I gotta look at you. One look and I'll timber. Watch out for flying glass. 'Cause the ceiling fell in and the bottom fell out. I went into a spin and I started a shot. I've been hit. This is it. This is it. it. I was walking along, minding my business, when love came and hit me in the eye. Flash, bam, alakazam, out of an orange-colored sky. One look and I'll timber. Watch out for flying glass. 'Cause the ceiling fell in and the bottom fell out. I went into a spin and I started a shot. I've been hit. This is it. This is it. it. I was walking along, minding my business, when love came and hit me in the eye. Flash, bam, alakazam, out of orange-colored, purple striped, pretty green polka dot sky. Flash, bam, alakazam, and goodbye.
Can we just give it up one more time for our syllabus, please? All right, so we're going to transition to our next choir. The KCHS Singers is my top ensemble, and they have a full set of music tonight, and it's going to be an exciting set. We actually took this set to New York City, and we were able to perform in really, really cool venues, such as St. Patrick's Cathedral, St. Barnabas High School in the Bronx, New York, as well as Trinity Church, which is right down from the 9/11 memorial. And they're just an extremely versatile group, and they're wonderful, and I love them, and looking forward to this set. So I give you the KCHS Singers. I straight up forgot my music. It's like something is missing here. I got so excited I got to play the drum, so. Thank you.
I believe in the sun. I believe in the sun. Even when it's not shining. I believe in the sun. I believe in the sun. Even when it's not shining. I believe in life.
you were here for the fall concert, we performed this piece at the fall concert as well, and it was a very special piece because when I graduated from UT, I had a phenomenal director, Dr. Angela Beatty, and I was always that kid that, like, you know, I got to go on tour, but I had $0 to my name, so it was like I was always having to, like, load the bus and do this, and like, put your name on the list, you're going on the tour. And it was my last tour at UT, and I remember the one song that stuck out was If Music Be the Food of Love. And we did it at Carnegie Hall, and it was a unique experience because I got to perform the song for my last time at UT at Carnegie Hall, which is where my journey started as a high school choir director. I had a really cool experience. And so when we got to this New York trip, this song was a must. I had to bring it because it was just so impactful. So we're going to sing it again for you. It's If Music Be the Food of Love.
If music be the food of love,
All right, so we are getting ready to close our last song of these seniors, the last set here at Knoxville Catholic High School. And what a wonderful venue to be able to do this in. If you think long ago, when I first started, long ago in 2019, we were out in the Commons, which is a great space to sing. I still love to sing out there just because it's a really good sounding space. But I love this venue, and I thank you all so much, community, for just giving us this space. So thankful for you. So this is our last song of the set, and we have a very special treat. It's a beautiful song entitled Total Praise. You hear it sung by the Brooklyn Tabernacle a lot. And I have two tremendous musicians that are coming down right now. On bass, Vince Ilagan will be playing bass with us, and my friend Sean. Y'all come on down, guys. Are y'all in the back? Have they started moving yet? Oh, they went back. They're in the musicians entrance there. But yeah, they're phenomenal musicians. Some of y'all may notice Sean. Sometimes he shows up as a pirate. Sometimes he shows up as a cowboy. Today he's just showing up as good old Sean and Vince. This is his first time here, so give them a welcome, please, as we close out Total Praise. All right, so if you would give us just a minute, just to kind of transition, if I could have my seniors go where the seniors go, and if I could have my underclassmen go where the underclassmen go. We're going to honor our seniors, but I got to move some things around first, so we'll be right back. All right. So this is a very special moment. Last year, we wanted to do something to honor our senior class, and as you know, we were kind of thinking through some cool traditions and things like that. I've only been here for 4 years, and I was like, well, we could start this tradition. And I was thinking about the Catholic faith and flowers, and probably because it was springtime. Because I like flowers in the spring. And so I was asking around, and the great theologian Pam Rhodes, she's our advertising person. She knows a lot of stuff. So I asked Pam everything. Hey, Pam, help me out. And she said the white rose actually is the flower of our Blessed Mother. And then I went further down that rabbit hole, and I was like, okay, so what else does it mean? And I read that it meant fidelity and loyalty. So these kids have been through a lot. We have been through COVID. We have been through masks. We have been through singing 6 feet apart. We have been through singing with one person. Poor MJ was my one person on the rotating schedule that would sing in the room while the other 3 were on the computer. And yet she showed up every single time and sung her little heart out. Just her, and then me in the room and a computer with 4 other people. So they're extremely resilient. This group has been just an amazing group. And this is honestly a very special time for me because this is my first graduating class that I've had since I've been here at Knoxville Catholic. So as we were going through to honor our seniors and go down our list, last year I kind of gave you all some origin stories of where they all started, and most of them were very similar to what Ms. Walker said at the beginning, is I found them in the hallway just sitting around, and I just asked them to join choir, and they said yes. But I went a step further, and I got my underclass to write things about them, what they mean to them. And you get a lot of repeating things. They're very sweet, they're very this, they're very that. So I took the highlights, and so I'll give you kind of a little bit of the origin of where they started, and what the kids say about them, because it's a very meaningful thing. So I want to start with Molly Brinkman. She is loved. All right, so Molly, I remember meeting Molly years ago. We did a vocal clinic when I first came here, and Molly was in the voice class, and she is literally one of the busiest humans I've ever met in my life, because not only was she singing and doing theater, but she was also doing like track and lacrosse and this and that. So I finally convinced her sophomore year to be in singers, and she did. And here's what your class people say about you. You always bring a smile to their face. You spread positivity everywhere you go. You are welcoming. You love people. And you're just an amazing person. So Molly, thank you so much for your time in singers. Yes, her classes were full, she just said. So, yes, Molly Brinkman. Give it up for Molly. All right, so this next senior, very near and dear to my heart, would be Mr. Mark Bushman. So, my man Mark here, We go way back. So when I signed my contract, there were 6 kids on the contract that were, they hadn't counted the freshmen yet. And Mark is one of my OGs. And there were 8 people in the OG choir, and 6 of them stuck with choir. So Mark was one of the ones that just kind of stuck with it. He's always been in a choir class every single year. And I've gotten to know Mark. Mark and I, we talk about nerdy stuff. We talk about video games, and we talk about Comic-Con, but we also talk about like deep stuff too, you know, and talk about like academics and future and things like that. He's a very unique dude, and I've really, really loved getting to know Mark. And it's one of the highlights of my day to get to walk in and I see Mark sitting on the bench. He's probably, you know, got something to show me, like, hey man, I drew this picture. If y'all don't know this, he's an amazing artist. Or he'll, you know, bring up, you know, a cool thing that he and his dad does, which they're my favorite stories ever. He and his dad, he and his mom, like he and his family. He's very, very close to his family. So Mark, this is what the students had to say about you. You are positive and fun and talented and selfless. What you do, people see. Thank you for being you, and I'm glad that I got to teach you all of these years. Next on the list would be Luke Cheadle. Give it up for Luke Cheadle. So Luke kind of came to the game a little bit late. He came last semester, and he was in a class that we titled Broco. And that was the all guys chorus. And it was one of those deals where we were talking. He's like, yeah, you know, I kind of just wanted to do it. A lot of people are doing it. I'm a senior. I've got open spots. And what I started to see with Luke is like at first he was kind of like just sort of checking it out as he would. And then like he started digging it. And not just the Frisbee games that we played, like the actual music making that was going to happen. And I remember he and another friend that they came up to me after our fall concert, and they're like, singing's dope. And I was like, okay, cool. Choir music, right on, man. So as we, you know, started down the journey, I was like, Luke, you should take concert choir. And he was like, don't worry about it, man. I'm in. So went to guidance. Told them the spiel, hey, I made a horrible mistake. I need to take this choir class or, you know, my life will be over. And then they put him in the choir class. So he actually stuck around for a year. He's been a huge addition to our group. I'm so thankful for you. And this is what the students had to say about you. You have cool hair. You were always confident and enthusiastic. You could change a room with your presence. So Luke, Auburn is gaining an awesome dude. So I'm so proud of you. Thank you for sticking with it. And thank you for being with me for this year. Next is going to be good old, reliable Nathan Cozart. Also with great hair. It had its moments, but now flowing locks. So I met Nate actually when he was in 8th grade, and he was a trombone player, and I had to steer him away from the ways of the band and take him into the choir, the Promised Land. So when he joined choir, actually he was in concert choir first, and he's been in singers for the last 2 years. Just an absolute like beast of a baritone. A ball of energy. He always lifts up the room when he's in there. I could literally count on him for anything. He's in 3 of my classes this semester, and half the time I'm like, Nate, can you go grab this stool? Nate, can you go set up my room? Nate, can you do? And he just does it. He's like, okay, cool, and he just walks out. Which is why his homework grades may be a little low, but it's okay. It's all good. So Nathan has always been there. We call him good old reliable Nathan. He does have a theme song. He'll sing it later for you in the lobby as he signs his autographs. But he's just a special guy, and I've loved getting to know him. And this is what the students say about you. You are such a great friend. You always make me laugh. You're good at listening. Nathan, you're an awesome guy. And I cannot wait to hear about your adventures at ETSU. And I'm glad that I got to teach you for these years. Thank you. Next on the list, Mr. Colton Goldbrand. So Colton was another one of the OGs. And he actually came. It's okay, you can stand there. It's his night, man. You do whatever you want. You can have this microphone. Let me tell you about this. So Colton actually, it was funny because he was between an art class and my class, and he chose wisely, as they say. Indiana Jones fans, yeah. Okay, so, yeah, he gave him the eternal life of singing. So he ended up choosing my class just on a whim. And I remember the art teacher, Miss Passarello, who was here at the time, was like, yeah, I've got this kid. He thinks he wants to sing, but he's not. I was like, let me talk to him. So I was like, Colton, you're singing. He was like, okay. So he came in, and just, it was really funny to watch the evolution of Colton, because Colton isn't afraid to do anything. Now, the first few attempts, it may be a little rough. Matching pitch, it was a little rough at first, and it was like, well, no, the pitch is here. No, I'm hearing it down here, but it's up here, and he's very inquisitive. Now, how do I do that? I'm like, well, Colton, we just have to develop the muscles, but I want to know how to do it. So I had to sit down, and I'm like, all right, Colton, we'll do this. So as I watched him progress as a musician, he's become a phenomenal singer, and just a leader. And it's been evident every time we go to Singers Retreat. He's the one cheering for his friends. He's the one that always wants to lead the group. He's always not afraid to step out of his comfort zone. And this is what your peers say about you, Colton. Strong leader, hilarious, caring and fun to be around. And I'm going to add a great listener and an amazing friend. So, Colton, thank you for being an OG. I love you, man. And go Vols. All right, next on the list is going to be Bryce Ha. So Bryce and I met his freshman year, and he was actually moving away. We were hanging out in the band room. Was that sophomore year? Okay, I'm sorry. Sophomore year. He's moving away his sophomore year. And he was like, I'm moving to Atlanta. And I was like, okay, cool, man. And we got in a conversation. I was like, well, I wish you would have sung in my choir. And he was like, look, if I move back, I'm going to join choir. Well, then one semester later, he moved back. And he joined choir last year. And it's been awesome. If you don't know Bryce, you should. He is just, he asks really, really great questions. He's very respectful, very inquisitive, and as a musician, just works hard, has done a phenomenal job, as an amazing tenor, and it's just been really cool to watch him grow. So your peers said this about you. You treat everyone around you with so much respect. You could make people smile just after one conversation. And I would add, for you, you're wise. You are wise. And that is something that is a gift. And thank you so much for being in this group. And I love you, man. And best of luck in your future endeavors. Yeah. Next on the list, Eli Hamilton. And his fan club, apparently. My man Eli. My man Eli. Look at him. Eli. Soak it in, people. Look at him. Look at the guy. Eli. That's Eli. Eli and I met, Miss and Maura and I had this musical theater class, and we were trying to experiment and kick the tires on what it would look like. And Eli was like one of 5 people that joined that class, so it obviously didn't take that year. But, you know, Eli was always a trooper. And I remember Eli and I talked constantly while throwing, was it a volleyball that we just threw back and forth?
It was a mix of a football, volleyball.
Tennis ball, any type of ball, and we would just sit there for the entire class time on one of those, you know, some of those free days and just throw a ball and talk all day long. And we would talk about stuff, and I found out that when he was at his middle school, he did a little singing, a little dancing, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and I was like, so why aren't you singing for me? And I remember just before COVID hit, we sat in my office, and then he called his parents, and he was like, I'm doing singers next year. And then COVID happened. But he joined singers the next year. And through all of that, just watching Eli be Eli, and just absolutely, it's so funny because you hear me say the same thing a lot. I have a lot of personalities in this class that are like room-changing personalities, and he's one of them as well. Sometimes you don't want to sit them next to each other. Just be honest. You have to move them around the room sometimes, keep them busy and distracted. But they're really good. His personality is huge, and he's an awesome, just bright spot in this choir, and an amazing talent on and off the field as well. So he's also an athlete, as Colton and others are as well. But here's what your peers said about you. Sweet and very respectful of people. You're intuitive of others' feelings. You make people smile with your jokes. And you have a killer Elmo impersonation. Which we, at some point, we'll have to unpack that. But Eli, man, you're awesome. Thank you for giving me your time. Thank you for giving me your effort. I'm grateful for you, and thankful for you and your and just blessings in your future endeavors, man. Thank you. Next is Felicity Hunt. So I met Felicity 3 years ago. And Felicity had come here, and she would hang out in the theater room a lot. And I always heard she could sing, but she never would sing for me. And then one day she did. And I said, you should join singers. And she did. So I remember her in class the very first year, and we were in desperate need of alto singers. And it was like the breath of fresh air that I needed to help build that section. And I remember when she came in, it was just an instant impact. It's one of those, it's like you meet Felicity, and you enjoy conversations, and then you find out she can sing, and she sings well. Well, then you find out that she also can act, and she acts really well. And also you find out that, oh yeah, she decided, I'm going to be a dancer. So she started dancing really well, and then she started leading the dance line. Then she started leading the alto section. So she's one of these talents that has just really been fun to watch her just grow as an artist. And it's just been my pleasure to walk alongside of you as you've discovered your arts. So here's what the students say about you. Felicity Hunt is amazing at everything you set your mind to, which is what I just said. I've seen it in person. Your dedication to all you do is really inspiring. You are a team player, and you are encouraging to all people, and you hear and see all people. So Felicity, thank you for the large impact that you made in my group, and you will be missed as you go off to ETSU. Next is Rory Mann. Another one of the OGs. Rory has been there my entire career at Knoxville Catholic High School. She was in every single choir, every single year. She was in singers for 3 years, concert choir, and 1 year, and chorale? First year. So she's been in choir every single year and made it a priority. And I remember meeting her the first time. I just knew she was special. She was completely sold on singing. She actually signed up for the class as a freshman, which was encouraging to me. And she's just always been there. And she's always, it doesn't matter if I'm like, hey, Rory, go sing this part. Hey, Rory, can you tap dance over here? Hey, Rory, we're doing this whole thing where we're doing this, it's called the Crawdad song. Are you interested? She's like, fine, I'll do whatever you need to do. So she's always been that type of person. And then she brings people alongside of her. She's very kind and extremely welcoming. And this is what your peers said about you. You're dedicated and welcoming. You're so smart and such an amazing person. You are wise and very funny and just awesome. So Rory, thank you so much for your time in this group. Thank you so much for your dedication. You will be missed, but I wish you well on your future endeavors. Got a few more. Jackson McNutt. Another one of my OGs, my man Jackson here. He was in chorale from the beginning. He's been in singers. This is your second year in singers, I believe. Oh, it's the first year in singers. That's right. Yeah, so his first year in singers, and what a year to join. We got to do a lot of really cool outings this year. We got to go to New York together, but I've known Jackson a long time. Jackson and I talk about cars a lot. He's really into that. We also talk about life. But Jackson's one of those guys, you don't have to worry about Jackson. If I ask him to learn something, it will be learned the very next day, and it will be excellent the very next day. Jackson is dedicated, Jackson is focused, and it's just been anywhere that I put him vocally, he's just absolutely enhanced that section. So Jackson, here's what your peers said about you. You are so nice, and you have a passion for singing and music. Because if you don't know, he plays a stringed instrument as well sometimes. He is funny and loves to tell stories. A true joy to be around. So Jackson, I thank you so much for all of the years that we've gotten to spend time together, all of the talks about old cars and Jeeps. And as you move on, I just wish you blessings as you move on to the next phase of your life. Thank you, buddy. Next is Didi Natividad. Didi! That's her. That's what we say when Didi enters a room.
Seriously, why?
Because it's your thing. It's awesome. I remember meeting Didi. You've been in Singers 2 years, right? Yeah. And I remember meeting Didi in the theater room, and I remember her conversations. We would talk a lot, and I found out she can sing. And of course, I did the same thing as I always do, ask her to sing in my group. And Didi has been an asset, and just I can move her around from section to section. She's very versatile vocally, but the big thing that she brings to the table is Didi is very funny. Didi says funny things all the time. Just her quick wit, her humor, the way that she'll find something and spin it. It makes me laugh. It's awesome, and she's just been a real joy to have these past few years, and this is what the students say about you, Didi. They say that you're a great friend and so funny. You're also dedicated and brave. So, Didi, thank you so much for the time that you have put in Singers. It's been a joy knowing you, and I'm so thankful for you. Next will be Eliza Knoll. Eliza. It's Eliza. Talented, very smart, very funny. And it was funny. I remember meeting her. I had to kind of have about 7 conversations before we actually started, really chatting about stuff. And her sister had been in all 4 years, and you've been with me for 3 years? Concert choir and 2 in singers, right? Okay. So when I finally realized, because Eliza was like, well, I sing a little bit. And I was like, I think you sing a lot of it. And she was like, no, I just sing a little bit. And then she opened her mouth, and out, it's like doves flew from behind. It was amazing. So I remember I was like, I have to have this voice very similar to Felicity. It was like we're building this alto section, and she absolutely crushed it. As an alto, she made All East. And it's just been really fun watching her discover her vocal music side, and I'm glad that I get to be along for the journey. So, with that being said, this is what your peer said about you. Eliza is very funny and an amazing singer. Someone you have funded a lot of money to. I don't know who wrote that, but it said, you have funded me so much money. I don't know. So you're generous. She's very generous. She's a great listener, and she sees people for who they are. You're an amazing person. You're an amazing asset. UT is going to get a gem of a human, and I'm so glad that I get to be a very small part of your adventure. So thank you so much for everything. Next is Sophie Noel. Or as we've been known to call her, so for real. She's so for real. Sophie is an OG. I remember meeting Sophie very first year. She was in chorale with me and has stuck with me the entire time. We've had about 1,000 classes that aren't this class, but she has been in singers for 3 years. And she has a beautiful voice, and she really is the epitome of a team player. I've never witnessed anybody just so willing to do whatever it takes. And there's never any, I'm not sure. It's just like, I'm going to go for it. I'm going to do it. So it's been really just encouraging for me just to watch you operate in day-to-day life. And just the way that you interact with people, the way that you see people, it's awesome. And this is what the student said about you. You're the kindest person. You are always there for people. You are just amazing. So for real, I am honored to know you. And I thank you so much for your dedication. And I look forward to hearing the many stories and wish you nothing but the best in your future endeavors. Next is going to be MJ Parkhill. MJ, what's up? Oh, nothing. So I've had MJ for 3 years in choir, and I told a little story about MJ earlier when the COVID year happened, and it was pretty funny because we had to do this thing, and literally we had to do computer for part of the class, and the other class showed up, but she was the only one that day. But she would show up, and she would sing. And she's the only one in the room. It didn't matter. She would just sing her little heart out. And it would be like an alto part. So it was like an awkward part. There was no melody. It was just like da-da-da, 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 da-da. But she would sing it. And she did what had to be done in those times. And as she started really flourishing as a musician, she started taking more risks, taking more opportunities as a vocalist. And it's just been really cool to watch her just flourish as a musician, and to walk into college auditions and be able to be accepted into a choir at the collegiate level and be able to take her music even further. It's just been amazing. So MJ, thank you so much for that. This is what the students say about you. You are the kindest person you will ever meet. She makes you feel welcome and loved. So MJ, you're awesome. Thank you so much for your dedication to this group. Thank you so much just for being awesome. Yeah. Anne Marie Ship. So I met Anne Marie. She, if you don't know, she is actually a trumpet player in the band, and a very good one. And she had joined choir one semester, I guess it was your freshman year. And then I didn't see her. And I was like, oh no, I scared her off. But it was just, she's one of those dedicated students to her academics, didn't have the time. So finally she was able to come back for this semester. And just absolute joy to have in class. She's been amazing. She's a leader. She's an encourager. She loves her team. She loves her people. And this is what the students say about you. You were so talented. You were sweet. You were caring. And you were amazing. Anne-Marie, thank you so much for coming back. And you were a huge asset to our team in our choirs. Thank you so much. I guess we're going back now. Now, the last, but certainly not least, we actually did not get to see her perform tonight because she's been under the weather. But talk about dedication. She is here tonight, and I want to honor her. But that is Grace Ward. So Grace is an OG, and she is the last of the OGs. And so she started out in chorale and has been in singers her entire high school existence, because I only take 10 through 12. And just talented, caring, accepting, just a great person. And she's involved in a lot of stuff. She plays volleyball. She plays sand volleyball. She plays tennis. She does a lot of things, and yet she still finds time to make it to every single concert and to be able to do pretty much everything we can to further the group. And she's just been an amazing asset to the group. And Grace, this is what the students said about you. You are so kind and easygoing. You know how to make everyone feel included when you talk to them. That is a true gift. Grace, thank you so much for your time in the choirs. You will be missed, but I wish you the best in your future endeavors. Oh, absolutely.
So we actually have one more surprise for Mr. Holloway. All of the senior singers, we all got together on our own time, and we put together a photo collage, basically like an album of, this year's, our greatest moments, like our gigs, a lot of funny moments, just a lot of memes and that. Eli made all the memes, and then we have our trips, like our New York trip. We know that this year hasn't necessarily been the easiest for you, and we just wanted to give you something so that you know like how loved and appreciated you are, and just the impact that you've had on all of us here, myself included. So alongside with these beautiful bouquet of white roses, I hope that you will accept this gift of our gratitude and love. Love you.
One more round of applause for these awesome seniors. Thank you all. We will have one more outing at Baccalaureate Mass on May 11th for those in attendance. But this will conclude our concert season. And thank you all so much for coming. You all drive safe on the way home. Thank you.